All right, real pissed off today. Real pissed off. I don't like politics in my sports at all. Not a fan of it. Main reason I'm not a fan of it is because I know the real reason why we have politics in sports is for media purposes, is purposes for the media to get back in the losses that they've had in the last 2 weeks in viewership. So everything that J. Cole said on Twitter, 110% true. Don't watch the fucking games. Don't do none of that. Like the best way to end, like the NFL is not the best league in the world because it's not the greatest. It's not the greatest football organization because it has the best players or because it has the best teams or it has the best history. It's the best because it's the most promoted, the most out there. I thought a lot of times I could start my own fantasy football. Not fantasy. I could start my own football league. There's enough college football players out there that you could make another complete league of football players. Maybe you wouldn't have 32 teams, but you could create a league, a pretty compelling league, and see what happens is anytime that this has ever happened in the past, the NFL stops it. The USF or whatever back in the 80s, 90s, they were taking players away from the NFL, and eventually the USFL was done. Then you have like the Arena Football League. The Arena Football League was something that wasn't as much competing with it. It felt more like the junior to the NFL. Like it was like a miniature, you know what I mean? Like it was like but like the XFL. The XFL completely, it ended because it completely came at the NFL's neck and its advertisement. Because the thing is the advertisement doesn't give a fuck if you watch the games to watch the teams. All they give a fuck about is that your eyes see their advertisements everywhere. And it's their advertisement is everywhere, and that's all they care about. That's what they pay the NFL to do, to get eyes on their logo, to get eyes on their brand. I don't know. I can't explain to you necessarily how shit works, how your brain works, but supposedly seeing those images over and over again makes it that, oh, this is a familiar product, I'll buy this. Or, oh, I know this brand. This is a brand that's in the NFL. I'll buy this brand. I like the NFL, and this brand promotes the NFL, or the NFL promotes this brand. So, oh, I'll fucking buy it. But what I'm getting at is, so you got to understand what has happened in the last 2 years. We're talking about 2 years ago, Monday night, Kaepernick says he's going to kneel before the game. He does it. And it creates all this hoopla. Basically, there's two sides. I'm going to say the black side and there's the white side. And just because I say the black side doesn't mean that's all black. There's white in it. And just because I say the white side, it's not all white. There's black in it too. But what I'm trying to get at is the majority, the white, they're like, oh, fucking cat. Like, this is the narrative that they have, that they're given. And the thing is it's just like politics. It's just like when you like Hillary and when I like Trump, and I don't like Trump. I just knew Trump was going to win, and I knew it was going to piss a lot of people off. So it's funny. I more of think politics shit I like comical shit more than what's real. But okay. So sports wise, you got black, you got white, you got Trump on the white side, you got Hillary on the black side. So if you go back to the election and you talk about that, like I said, most of the people. There were blacks on Trump's side, but it was mainly white. There was whites on Hillary's side, but it was mainly minorities. So when you get back, so then let's talk about the Cap situation. So Kaepernick. So the white side said he's not good enough to be in the NFL. He's not performing the way he should be. He shouldn't be a starting quarterback. And then he needs to stop doing this shit. He's doing this shit because he's not a starter anymore, and he needs to get the attention. And then the black side's like, no, this is just, he's taking a stand. There's a lot of shit that's been going on lately, and y'all are blackballing him. He should have a job in the NFL. He should be a starting quarterback in the NFL. But he's not. But what you got to understand. And so last year, the NFL owners, they said, fuck it. We don't fucking care. You're not going to play on our fucking team. You can look back at media type shit. Like Giants owner was like, Kaepernick will not play for our team. Like, owners openly last year lashed out at Kaepernick saying, you will not play for our team. We will not have players on our team. Like, they made it known last year that this was not cool. But then what happened? Kaepernick made such a storm, as much as you want to say he did or he didn't, he made such a storm that he's got the NFL owners retracting everything that the way they did it last year. The way they did it last year was, we'll replace him, we'll put another quarterback in his position, we'll totally erase him, we won't let his story be legitimified, and that was their plan. And usually the NFL wins. Usually they can play these games where they play both sides, kind of like the concussion stuff. If you ever watched that concussion movie, basically shit will come out and they'll basically try to retract it, and they'll be like, we're going to research it, we're going to have our own researchers look at it, and then it's kind of like the government when like let's say 9/11. Like, okay, so you got to be on the same page as me that 9/11 was done by our government so we could go into war or whatever. So you gotta understand. So this is what America. It's called like a cause and effect or something like that. Basically, what America does is it creates a situation. So it created 9/11. Then it has the answer for the fuck up. So then they're like, well, we're gonna go to war. So basically, they create the problem and then they solve it. And that's exactly like. The NFL and the government are like one in itself. So why would the NFL not operate just like the government does? What they're going to do is they're going to create an issue, and then they're going to themselves fix the issue. But they created the issue themselves. So it doesn't make any sense. It's all stupid. And basically what happens, if you haven't been paying attention the whole time, then you just come in late, you pick a side, and you pick that side. And if you look, okay, the other day I'm looking at Kaepernick type stuff, and I'm thinking, I'm going to look for some type things to look on here and be like, is it really the blacks are just, solidifying him so much he's just like, one of the black guys that's getting slammed for what they believe in, what they want? Or is it really that he really has no talent? He really doesn't, he's not an NFL quarterback. He shouldn't be in the NFL. He had his time and now he's done. So you kind of get caught in the middle of what is it? Is Kaepernick sucking? He's making a scene, or is Kaepernick orchestrating this shit? Just for fucking viewership. Now you got to also remember viewership was bad last year when the campaign was going on. So at the same time, Kaepernick, there's two sides to every story. Kaepernick, someone raised by white people, he's not to say that he's not black or whatever, but he came up in a white home, I would say, and so it's kind of like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And then to think also, we've got all these NFL players that make all this money, and they can openly complain, but like at the same time, it's like you're getting paid millions of dollars by a league that you play in. You would think you would just keep your mouth shut and shut the fuck up, unless the NFL wants you to do this. So, like in the past, the NFL for troops type stuff, where they try to get people to, like the troop type stuff. They're trying to get troops. Like the military paid the NFL tons of money to orchestrate the troops for whatever, for the NFL type shit. And so what I'm getting at too is, why would the NFL not orchestrate this? So basically this is what happens. They say, hey, Donald, we backed your ass for the fucking election. We wanted you back. We wanted you in office. It worked better for our sponsors, our advertisement. We got you back. We know Robert Kraft is a personal friend of yours. The Jacksonville Jaguars owner, I know, donated $1 million to his campaign. Or maybe not $1 million, but he donated money. I think it was $1 million, but I know he donated money to his campaign. So what you got to understand, the NFL owners are on the same side as Trump. They're all on the same thing. They all are trying to get their money back up. And maybe their money's not down, but they want more. They always need more. And so when this shit happened this last weekend, where Donald Trump what does Donald Trump do to get people's attention? He says ignorant ass shit on Twitter. So he does it. He says ignorant ass shit on Twitter. He pisses the entire black community off. And then, so what are they going to, so he tells them, you should be out of the league, Like they basically orchestrate this press conference that he has to make it that, hey, in the first 2 weeks of the NFL, we have nobody going to the games. Our viewership is way down. We had a damn good first game of the year versus Chiefs Patriots, and still it was down 16%. We are not. This Kaepernick scandal has really hurt us. That's what they realized. They realized that last year the stand that they took against Kaepernick really hurt them. They realized that more people are at a point in their life where political reform and justice is more important than, watching football every Sunday. And I think that's something that's different from the 90s and the 2000s. 90s and 2000s, you could have just been like, whatever, we're watching football on Sundays. And maybe it's because where media is at nowadays, where it's completely different, where social medias came. But what I'm getting at too, though, is when you talk about going back to last weekend. So he says his spill, pisses everybody off, and then basically as soon as he has his spill, Goodell comes out, the owners start coming out saying we support our players, we support our league, and basically this is what you got to understand: the government and Trump's money is the same money that the NFL's owners are. So they're going after the same money. And they're all on the same damn team. But they've created this situation where it's like the NFL versus Donald Trump and the government to help promote for their league to make themselves look better. So this is what you got to understand. The government is such a joke. They will use their president to legitimify their NFL, something that's fake in a sense. Like a government is something that's really real, that is important. But in America, we use it as a scapegoat for our NFL. We used Donald Trump as a scapegoat for our NFL for viewership this last Sunday. And don't tell me that you weren't more intrigued to see, hey, who's going to be kneeling, what's going to happen before the games, who's going to be doing what's going to happen, You'd be lying to me if you tell me that's not something you were thinking about this Sunday. And for me, it's like, I'm going to watch the games anyways. I watch NFL Red Zone every week. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about any of this shit. I hate politics in my sports. But one thing I will say about the NFL, and this is my other point to this, it is a very compelling league, and you will never have a time period where you will have, let's say Carmelo Anthony, the Carmelo Anthony version of an NFL player. Let's see here. Let me think for a minute. Who would be, and I'm thinking of someone who's just performed for multiple years, but still, we don't want them. We don't want them. We want them somewhere else. It'd be like, let's take Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson would be a good example. Now, Adrian Peterson's older. He's not what he once was, but he's still a really good back. He still could be a number one back. But his original team, the Minnesota Vikings, don't want him. Carmelo Anthony, the New York Knicks don't want you anymore. So in the NFL, if AP wants out, what did he have to do? He had to sit in free agency. He got a shitty deal, and he's playing for the Saints now. That's the reality of the NFL. Tough shit. You're in a backfield now with Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara, and you're the least productive back. That's the reality of the NFL. This is the NBA for you. Hey, we're gonna give you fucking let's say I'm gonna give you Danny Amendola. I'm giving you Danny Amendola and let's see. I'd say Danny Amendola and Will Fuller. I'm giving you Danny Amendola and Will Fuller. Two middle of the road, they're NFL talent, but they're not studs necessarily for Adrian Peterson. That's the trade. And you would tell me there's no fucking way. Oh, a draft pick. We'll throw a draft pick in there too. There's no fucking way I'm giving up Adrian Peterson for Danny Amendola and whatever I said Will Fuller. You're not like, but okay, in reality, see, this is what's great about me is I know the value of every player from every league. And now I know okay, Enes Kanter and Doug McDermott are not the equivalent of a Will Fuller and whatever other name I said, Danny Amendola. But it's the fact of it's just the fact of that would never happen in the NFL. I'm trying to say in the NFL, that's what it would be like in the NFL if someone got Carmelo Anthony. And okay, so basically what I'm trying to say though is the NBA is a joke. This is all created. And I mean, I've been trying to say it for a while, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. Like, what the fuck are they doing? What the fuck are they doing? But like, they've created some great rivalries. And so now what we've got, so this is what they said. It's like, this is how I like to look at things. I like to be like, I'm God and I'm looking over the top of the league and I'm saying, how can I fuck this league up? How can I really get this league fucked off? And in a way where I make money from it though. And well, you got to understand, like I've said in the past, the NBA is not making money off America anymore. It makes money off America. It makes money off the case. Where it's really making money right now is in Europe. Because people in other countries don't know how shit the NBA is. It's fucking exciting. It's fun to watch, but it's some fucking horse shit. Let me tell you that. Basically, the NBA is the G League, which is the developmental league, all college players that aren't good enough to be in the NBA. Then you've got all the teams that aren't like the Rockets, the Thunder, the Spurs, the Warriors, you throw the T-Wolves in there. Then you can go Boston, you can go Cavs, you can go Wizards. And I throw Raptors in there, I throw Bucks in there. So you got 10 teams that legitimately probably have a chance, that are going to make the playoffs, that legitimately have a chance to somewhat make some noise in the playoffs. So there's 20 teams that don't. What are those other 20 teams? Those other 20 teams are basically like another developmental league. That's basically what the NBA has created with the way that they put all the top free agents, or like all the top players. What they've done is they've been putting them all on the same teams. So basically they've created two leagues in the NBA where they've got the teams that are fucking stacked, the teams that actually have a chance, the teams that you really only have to pay attention to, and then you've got 20 teams that suck ass, that they've got all these young players that are just like fucking developing. Like they're just fucking getting better. I mean, the shit's ridiculous. The NBA is a complete joke. I was thoroughly surprised when I saw Melo go to OKC, but then I was thoroughly pissed off because then I saw everything flash before my eyes. I said, "Oh, OKC is up 3-1 on the Warriors in 2016." And somebody says, "Hey, Durant, Westbrook, you're fucking up the fucking league, dude. You're fucking up what we got going in the next couple years. Fix it." They lose 3 games in a row to the Warriors. The Warriors go to the finals, lose to the Cavs in 7. They said, "Hey, Warriors, we're gonna let you win in 7, so you're gonna let the Cavs come back and win in 7. We'll orchestrate some shit. We'll get Draymond Green out. We'll help him out. It'll be fine." All right, so then, but hey, since you do that, you're getting Kevin Durant the next year, and you're going to win a ring the next year. So, okay, so understand that. You're going to have to sacrifice some shit, but you're getting a ring with Durant next year. Westbrook, they say, "Hey, Westbrook, we're taking fucking Durant away from you, but hey, you're winning MVP next year. That's going to look good for your personal attribute." But hey, since you're going to sacrifice that, we'll give you the MVP if you play good enough all year. Then we're going to give you Paul George, and then we're going to slip you Melo late in the year. So now we're going to create this huge matchup between the Thunder and the Warriors. Huge matchup between the Thunder and the Warriors. Think back to the 2012 finals. We had Durant, we had Harden, we had Westbrook all on the same damn team. Look what they've done to that. They've spread all 3 of those superstars out. They're all protected players. They all are, lights out players. Now Harden's got Chris Paul. He's got that team. And Houston, Spurs are always deadly. That's another team to watch out for. That's 4 teams. And then a team that I really liked that made improvements this offseason was the Timberwolves, adding Jimmy Butler and whatnot. And I think they're legitimately could be one of the top teams. But at the same time, look what these other 2 teams have done this offseason. I'm talking about Thunders and Rockets to solidify their team. And then you talk about what they did on the East side. They created this Kyrie bullshit-ass drama, this fake-ass bullshit-ass drama to get him out of fucking Cleveland, get him to Boston so they can create this fucking big-ass rivalry between Kyrie and and LeBron next year. So Eastern Conference Finals next year, you're going to have Kyrie versus LeBron. Kyrie's going to have a damn good team. That's going to overshadow. They're going to try to be like, oh, Kyrie's going to beat LeBron. Can Kyrie beat LeBron? But in reality, Kyrie's going to have a damn good team next year with the orchestrated getting Hayward and Horford and all that. Now the Cavs are going to be the same thing that the Cavs have been. They're going to be fucking LeBron James, and that's it. The Wizards are going to be right there. The Raptors will be right there. The Bucks are going to make a big impact this year. Don't at me. And then, I mean, it's one of those things though. Like, if you can look at the top and look clear as day, I see Celtics and I see Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I see Warriors and I see Thunder in the Western Conference Finals. But in the finals, I definitely see Warriors Cavs again, or I see Warriors Celtics. I mean, the NBA, I think what pisses me off. When 2012, the NBA was my fucking favorite sport. I loved all the players. I loved everything going on about it. But I think I also liked it because I didn't know as much as I do now. And as much as I seen gone down, I fucking hate it. I despise the NBA with a fucking passion now with what the fuck they're doing. Because they make so much money in the playoffs, they have basically decided that we are going to ruin our league and make it that the playoffs is all that matters because that's where they make all their money. And they realize that nobody watched regular season basketball last year. Nobody gives a fuck about regular season basketball. And that's kind of the mindset I started to have. I was like, I'll just watch when the playoffs start. I'll pay attention to some, but I mean, it doesn't matter. 8 of these teams aren't going to make the playoffs. 8 of them will. 4 of them are going to be shitty. There's going to be 4 good teams. We'll watch it when it gets down to that. We got 82 games in a season. I can sit there and try to watch every game, but that's no fun. That's just ignorant. I mean, I can sit there and watch every NFL game easily. There's not that many. I don't, in baseball, I don't give a fuck. Baseball, a series to me is like a game. If I pay attention to the scores in that series, that's good enough for me. I think they should start showing baseball statistics a little bit different. They should have each game, but they should show that series, that 3-game series or that 4-game series, the totals for the whole series. I really like stuff like that to see who really won a series, because I know there's a lot of times in the MLB if they got a 4-game series, they'll go 2-2 or they'll go 2-1, and literally no ground will be caught or gained. It'll just be the same in the standings. And then talk a little bit about MLB. I mean, basically everything's pretty much done. We've got, Indians, Astros, Red Sox winners, and then Yankees as a wild card winner. Yankees have looked really good lately, been making me happy. Twins look like they'll be that team to get the spot. They do have Indians this week, then Tigers, and then Angels have been playing really bad. They played the Astros and the Indians, so that was tough. They're probably done. Rangers are playing pretty good right now, but they lost a couple to the A's. I could see, I definitely see Twins being that other team in the wild card. On the NL, it's a little bit different. I definitely see the Cubs winning the NL Central, but the Cardinals completely control their own destiny. They have 2 series left, one against the Brewers, one against the Cubs. If they play good, they could potentially be that second wildcard team. Arizona's already the first wildcard team with the other division winners, Nationals, Dodgers. Rockies are holding on by a thread. They're about a game up on the Brewers. Brewers will win one and lose one, so they're right there. But they have Cardinals, and I think they have Pirates to end in the season. So we'll see how that goes. I definitely am going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say my Brewers are going to get in. I've been calling for my Brewers to get in all year. They're going to make it. They're going to get into that second wild card spot over the Rockies. I don't like how the Rockies have played lately. I think the Rockies played their best baseball at the first of the year.